Hello everybody, Wild Bill for America here. Carly Fiorina, running for president, made a truthful statement the other day when she declared that people of faith make better leaders. She said this at the Presidential Family Forum in Iowa, where you can bet Barack Obama was nowhere to be found. And of course, the atheists of America were delighted to have something new to rage about. The American atheist president tweeted, "Why exactly are atheists worse leaders?" I'm so glad you asked.
I say fuck the man that lives in the sky.
Atheists are worse leaders because they are immoral people. They have no moral foundation other than their own personal evil agendas.
Whoa. What was that? Come again, Wild Bill? Our own personal evil agendas? Well, as you might suspect, them there are some fighting words. First off, don't be thinking that you're the only one who can be rocking a cowboy hat. So give me just a second here. I'm not quite sure I'll have time to make it to the Austin Gap for an Egyptian cotton button-down, Wild Bill. But, yeah, one sec. You be Wild Bill? I reckon you best say your piece.
Not only are they worse leaders, they are worse teachers, worse neighbors, and worse citizens. Moral decay is the cancer of the USA, and it is arrogant atheism that has given us over 50 million dead children. The sexual perversion crisis that is killing people, destroying families, and making American children appetizers for sexual predators.
You know, Wild Bill, I understand your video isn't that long, only about 5 minutes, and I thought about just letting you ramble the entire time and then kind of addressing everything, but no, you really cram a lot of bullshit into those 5 minutes, so let's break it down point by point, shall we? So I'm going to take the high road for now and ignore that first little bit about atheists being the worst teachers, the worst neighbors, etc., etc. But I do reserve the right to shove it up your ass at a later point in this video. You then say it is the arrogant atheists who are responsible for 50 million dead children in this country, and I can only assume that you're talking about abortion, although you never specifically say so. Not sure what to tell you here, Wild Bill. Atheists make such a small percentage of the population that there is absolutely no way we could account for all the abortions that are happening in this country, and I would argue not even close to a majority of them. So many of these abortions are being had by women of faith, yes, even Christians. And here's something for you to wrap your noodle around, Wild Bill. I am an atheist, and I am pro-choice. But I am also against abortions. But as opposed to religious vitriol, I like to look towards things like increasing education and access to contraception, so we can one day see these numbers of abortions getting lower and lower. I know. Fucking crazy, right? You then go on to mention the sexual perversion problem in America and how it's breaking up families and making, how did you phrase it? Sexual appetizers of our children by predators. Again, you're not all that specific, but sounds to me like you're describing what's been going on at the Catholic Church for decades and decades. Scratch that, centuries. But let's move on, shall we?
Annie Gaylor made an even stupider statement when she declared that Islamic State is led by people of faith. And that tells us exactly why atheists should be banned from any position of leadership. Anyone who is so deaf, dumb, and blind they cannot tell the difference between the teachings of Jesus Christ and hardcore Satan worshipers is too stupid to be trusted with anything.
Oh, Wild Bill. Piece of advice: if you're going to attack someone for being stupid, you may want to avoid the word stupider. But to your point, I will grant you, Wild Bill, that Miss Gaylor did in fact say that. Of course, her point escaped you undoubtedly about as much as your high school education. The co-founder of the Freedom from Religion Foundation was not comparing doctrines between Christianity and Islam. No. What she is saying is that Muslims, up to and including those that make up the Islamic State, is comprised of and led by people of faith, just like Christianity and Judaism and most every other religion on the planet. All right, Wild Man, what's next?
We have plenty of gun control. What America needs most is idiot control. Putting atheists into leadership positions is like taking a laxative and a sleeping pill on the same night. Gee, what could possibly go wrong?
Why do I get the sense that that was said from experience?
You want to start making things better in the USA? Start electing people who hold the same moral values that the Founding Fathers did when they built this nation. Men of faith laid out the plan, and it succeeded beyond all expectations. Men of anti-faith have marched this nation down the road to destruction, and it's time to kick them to the curb.
Oh, thank you, Wild Billy Boy Joe Bob. No, seriously, thank you. I was hoping that you brought this up. You know, I recently did a video titled The Very Unimpressive Sacrifice of Jesus H. Christ. Perhaps you saw it? Well, anyway, I started off by saying just how sick and tired I am of hearing Christians talk about the amazing sacrifice made by God and or Jesus for me, and how much they love me. Well, if there's one thing that I am more sick and tired of hearing, let me say it in a way you can understand. Sicker and tireder of hearing is how we was founded as a Christian nation on biblical values. What do you say, Wild Bill, that we take a closer look at that statement and do us a little fact-checking? Thomas Paine, might have heard of him, considered perhaps the father of the revolution with his publishing of Common Sense. Perhaps no one more critical to the idea and subsequent action of telling the Brits to go fuck themselves. But anyway, he called the Bible, quote, an ordinary piece of literature rather than as a divinely inspired text. He also once labeled the Bible as fabulous mythology. and frequently spoke about the need for reason over revelation. It was also Paine who said, "I do not believe in the creed professed by the Jewish Church, by the Roman Church, by the Greek Church, by the Turkish Church, by the Protestant Church, nor by any church that I know of. My own mind is my own church. All national institutions of churches, whether Jewish, Christian, or Turkish, appear to me no other than human inventions set up to terrify and enslave mankind and monopolize power and profits." How about a little Thomas Jefferson? Wild Bill, little Tommy Jeff. Had a little bit to do with the founding of this nation. Tommy has just, so many, but just a few to nibble on here. First one, Christianity neither is nor ever was a part of the common law. Another good one is, question with boldness even the existence of a God, because if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of blindfolded faith. And let's just pull one more up for you, Wild Bill. The whole history of these books, the Gospels, is so defective and doubtful that it seems vain to attempt minute inquiry into it. And such tricks have been played with their text and with the text of other books relating to them that we have a right, from that cause, to entertain much doubt what parts of them are genuine. Moving right along. Jimmy Mad Dog Madison. Religious bondage shackles and debilitates the mind and unfits it for every noble enterprise, every expanded prospect. And what forefather quote collection would be complete without a little Benny Franks? Yeah, some Benjamin Franklin. Quote, some books against deism fell into my hands. It happened that they wrought an effect on my quite contrary to what was intended by them. For the arguments of the deists, which were quoted to be refuted, appeared to me much stronger than the refutations. In short, I soon became a thorough deist. Ben also said things like, lighthouses are more helpful than churches, and the way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason. Let me end it with one more, which was written about Ben Franklin by a contemporary of his, one Mr. Joseph Priestley. It is much to be lamented that a man of Franklin's general good character and great influence should have been an unbeliever in Christianity, and also have done as much as he did to make others unbelievers. End quote. Believe me, Wild Bill, when I say I could go on for quite some time. The founders were, in fact, by and large, deists. Believe in a creator God, and that's about it. Think about also the time that they were taking these stances. The Catholic Church was still uber dominant, not even 100 years from witch trials and the equally horrific persecution by the Puritans on pretty much everyone else. And here's a great quote for you. The religious freedom so often spoken of in regards to the Pilgrims was espoused by them only when they were the victims. It was not based on any principle of fairness. It was a belief born of weakness, to be forgotten in their moment of power. Christian colonists branded non-Christians on the forehead with red-hot irons, bore them through their tongues, confiscated their property, and threw them in jail, hanged them, and burned them at the stake. That is what happens when Christians have their way. And that is a quote on the page freethought.mbdojo.com/founding fathers. I will put a link in the description box, of course. Well, Wild Bill, you got anything else in your 6-shooter there?
They have more than proven their incompetence, and it's time to stop putting up with their foolishness and their nastiness. Now, as for Carly Fiorina, she may have said the right thing, but her life does not back up her words. When she was president of HP, Christians were forced to work next to homosexuals who posted pro-homosexual posters in their cubicles. But Christians who posted pro-family posters were harassed and or fired.
Oh, Christ, Bill. Do you get anything right at all? Seriously. I happened to look up this incident you were talking about. And, well, let's take a little closer look at it, shall we? As for Christians being forced to work next to homosexuals, I'm sorry, they weren't. They were free to go and work any place else that they chose if they didn't want to work next to gay people. No one had a gun to their head. Now, let's look at what actually happened at HP. So the company, not individuals in their cubicles, the company was hanging posters throughout the workplace with the motto, diversity is our strength. And it was a bunch of different posters with that same motto on all of them. And yes, some featured homosexuals and some featured Latinos and African Americans, obviously looking to promote diversity within the company. The Christian in question did hang personal messages in his cubicle, and what he did was quote the Bible, and specifically a passage from Leviticus saying that homosexuality is an abomination and that homosexuals should be stoned to death and their blood spilling all over the place, or something like that. So, not exactly what I would call pro-family messages there, Wild Bill. You see the difference? And by the way, just for the record, the gentleman who was fired for posting that message even lost his appeal in a court of law. And they found that HP was justified in the firing. All right, Bill, let's wrap this thing up, huh?
Even though Fiorina said the right thing, I suspect she was just pulling a Hillary Clinton. Wave a Bible just enough to get votes, but don't open it lest she burst into flames. Atheists have openly rejected the one who is the source of all wisdom, truth, and life. So why should they be trusted in any position that requires wisdom, truth, or respect for life? Answer: they shouldn't. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching, and America bless God again.
Well, damn, Wild Bill. I'll say one thing. You managed to get stupider as that video went on. Did you actually end it by saying, America bless God again? So, we're supposed to be blessing God? Is that right? I mean, what the fuck does that mean, Wild Bill? America, bless God? Again? You know you can, like, edit this shit, right? Like, if you fuck up, you can go back, cut it out, and, you know, fix your mistake, and no one would even realize it, right? Do you get that? Do you understand that? I mean, America, bless God, again? Are you a fucking idiot? Ah, jeez, I'm sorry about that, Wild Bill. I didn't mean to call you a fucking idiot. Actually, I should be thanking you. That's right. Because of you and your video here, I think it's pretty clear which direction this country should be taking. It's up to you, America. Wild Bill's way, or the one less stupider.